If you get a no, that priority has been fully cleared and you are now ready to move on to another area and proceed to number 1 to do that. But let's say you get a yes, and so that moves us down to I. And it says next, my current level of relief includes 0%, 10%, 20%, etc. And it says start with the percentage you were at from the last session. Use increments of 10%. Once you get a dip of -5 or more from the previous reading, you've gone too far. Narrow it down to the nearest 5%. Wow, that was a mouthful. So let's go ahead and take a look at how that would work on the bar. And let me see what I have in my notes around this. Okay. Okay, excellent. Okay. First of all, I want to follow up with the procedure, and then I'll explain the value of testing the current level of relief, okay? So the way that it says to do it is when you're testing for the current level of relief, you start at the percentage of where you were at from your previous session. So if I had been working on my heart wall in a previous session and it told me, okay, we're done today, that's all the trapped emotions we can release from the heart wall. Or if I felt at that point, well, you know, I've been working on the heart wall for 45 minutes here and I'm starting to tire a little bit and lose my focus, so I'm going to go ahead and call it quits right now. But I want to see how much relief I have in my heart wall at this time. And let's say that you find that your current level of relief was 25%. So when you got into this session, your next test is going to be for 30%. And then you'll test, and so what you do is when you test, and we just move the baseline off to the side, is you go, my current level of relief includes 30%, I get 145, 40%, 150, 50%, 150, 60%, 125. So I got a dip of 5 points or more from the previous reading, which had been set at 150. Okay, so 5 points or less basically means that you have did the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay, it was basically meaning, okay, that's true that it includes 30%, it's true that it includes 40%, it's true that it includes 50%, and now, no, it doesn't include 60%. You have set a false statement which makes your muscles go weak, and so we now know that it's either 50 or it could be 55%, because it did say to narrow it down to the next 5%. So we would test one more time, and my current level of release includes 55%, and you get a yes, a strong on that, and so you now know that your current level of relief is at 55%. Why go through all of this? Here's why. Let me go to my notes. When you're testing your current level of relief, okay, what this does is it gives you a good idea of where your progress is on the heart wall or whatever specific issue that you're working on. And even though it's wonderful to see in testimonials and in people's experience that sometimes they can go through one session and blam, just like that horse, you know, who was maltreated, and he went through that session and blam, next day he's running like a bat out of hell on the track, right? And even though that does happen, and it's wonderful to see, many times what occurs also is that an area like a heart wall or a specific issue may require several sessions, and it's a good idea for you to have some reassurance, right, around the progress that you're making. So it helps encourage you with it kind of like a little snapshot of your progress and what to expect, because even though from the perspective of traditional methodologies of freeing oneself from past hurts, right? A person can spend the same number of sessions on a couch and barely clear even one or two issues. Maybe even spend a year or two with other traditional methodologies. And so this work is, in my mind, it's light speed compared to it. And what has been found is that it permanently releases that trapped emotion. That trapped emotion does not come back. Okay? And so it's, in my mind, it's always a good idea, even though it's quick. Emotion release work is very quick work compared to the other methodologies. It's still a good idea to kind of have an idea of where you're at and how much further you have to go, so that you can prepare yourself and discipline the mind to go the distance, okay? All right, so let's go down to number 14 next. Number 14 says, once you're done with the session, the interval between my next session includes 1 day, 2 days, etc. It says use increments of 1 day. Once you get a dip of -5 or more from the previous reading, you've gone too far, and schedule your next session, and remember to breathe easy. You're on your way. This emotion release work is ongoing stuff. One of the things that can also occur with emotion release work is that we can, even though we can clear trapped emotions from our past, we're still living. We still have emotions that get trapped. So it's an ongoing work. And a little bit around when your next session needs to be. Again, the protocol is like this. What we're going to be doing is saying the interval, again, the statement is the interval before, excuse me, before my next session includes 1 day, includes 2 days, includes 3 days, includes 4, it went weak, straw that broke the camel's back. Okay, so we know we have exceeded the optimal number of days, and then we go back to that previous reading, and that is the proper interval between sessions, kind of give the body a chance to rest or whatever it needs to do. I don't know why those intervals are in there. I just know that our body knows what's best for us, and that we can have that expressed through muscle testing, so you know that to schedule your next session. Okay? And I think that's about it. You're going to have a lot of fun with this testing, and you'll find that even though we've spent a good amount of time in this video training on it, you're going to find that once you get in the groove of it, it's a very quick thing. So please enjoy your work, write down your questions that you have, and then we'll pick this up in your next private coaching session. This is James Stevens once again, thanking you for taking the time to learn about this. Again, I want to express my gratitude for Dr. Bradley Nelson's incredible discoveries in the area of emotion release work, and I want to express my gratitude to my higher power for the discoveries I've made in muscle testing, and to have this wonderful opportunity to share it with such wonderful people as yourself. So make it a great day. We'll talk to you soon.